Good morning. My name is Björn Zapfel. I'm a senior project expert in the European Climate Infrastructure and Environment Executive Agency of the European Commission, in short, CINEA. CINEA, as most of you will know, manages a wealth of programs which are supporting the European Green Deal, and among those, in particular, also the LIFE program. If you are in need of any further information on the LIFE program, if you have any particular questions on that, just to hint at the fact that you can also visit the LIFE stand in the virtual fair this afternoon, or you can also attend later on a dedicated session on LIFE at 2:30 in the afternoon. But having said that, I will stop with marketing for ourselves, but really turn to the core of the session that we have at hand now. And in this context, I'm really pleased to welcome all of you to this session on the Romanian Green Economy Financing Facility, the GEFF, of the European Bank for Reconstruction of Development, of the EBRD. We have two excellent speakers who will introduce you to this very particular innovative and initiative in Romania. We have Yücel Inan. He's a member of the Green Economy Financing Facilities team within the Green Economy and Climate Action Group. And in this position, he develops and deploys climate finance products and tools in collaboration with the Financial Institutions Business Group in the EBRD. He has a wealth of experience, so he has a experience of more than 25 years in banking and financial services, and he has worked in various executive positions throughout the CE region before joining the EBRD. But we also, and also a very warm welcome to her, we have Anna Maria Stroitile. She is a sustainability consultant at Tractebel Engineering in Romania, and one can really say that she has a very profound history of working in environmental services industry. She's a senior energy efficiency expert for the GEFF, the Green Economy Financing Facility in Romania. Now, without any further ado, I would like to pass the floor to Yücel to introduce us to this particular program, to the GEFF instrument in Romania. But before really doing that, I would also like to hint at the fact that after the presentations, we have the opportunity for questions. So if anything comes to your mind that needs an urgent answer, please also feel free to introduce your questions already during the presentation in the chat, and we will take up the questions after the end of the presentations. Having said that, Yücel, would you like to take the floor?
Yeah, thank you, Björn. Thank you for that excellent introduction, and many thanks to all those who are attending. Good morning to you all. I would like to start by a very short introduction of the EBRD. For those who may not be so familiar, the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development is a multilateral development bank with 69 countries and 2 institutions as shareholders. Those 2 institutions are very relevant to us. One is the European Union itself, and the other is the European Investment Bank. So we are a very Europe-focused development bank, but not only. We were founded in 1991 following the historic events that took place in Central and Eastern Europe. So we're celebrating our 30th anniversary this year. The EBRD was established with a special mandate to help centrally controlled economies transition to healthy market-based economies by especially supporting the development of a robust private sector. Thus, we have quite a unique mandate among other MDB peers. Our tried and tested model has been very successful in delivering transition projects over the past 30 years. And in fact, we have had to enlarge our geographical area as a result, as we have had requests from many countries to join. And right now we actually are in 38 countries. We have 38 countries of operation from the Central Europe all the way to Mongolia, from the Baltic region all the way down to Egypt, Morocco. So that is our area of coverage, let's say. So what is the EBRD model? The EBRD model consists of 4 main channels. We do obviously provide financing, but we do not only provide financing and leave it at that. We enrich our support through a very strong policy dialogue channel as well. In many projects, we have policy dialogue branch where we engage with the national and local authorities, professional associations, and institutions to support the transition in those countries and regions. And a very, very important component of redefining actually quality of EBRD project is the technical assistance component. Technical assistance is what we provide mostly for free to our partners in terms of technical support in delivering the projects. These usually would be engineering support, but not only. For example, we'll talk about the green economy financing facilities soon. These are programs that we deliver through our partner financial institutions, and we would provide a technical assistance to these financial institutions, and that could include not only engineering support, but also financial product support, marketing support, market placement, supporting the clients of our financial institutions or the financial institutions themselves. We also have concessional co-financing where we can deliver it. And I'm very happy to say that in the case study that we will go through today, the Romania GEFF, we have many of these components already in place. So maybe we go to the next slide from here. Since the foundation, our private sector focus has remained, but we have shifted our targets to orientate more and more towards supporting sustainable economies and to help mitigate climate change and help increase resource efficiency, climate change adaptation, circular economy, inclusion, protection of natural assets, etc. So this has become now our major focus. Our main shift in this respect started in 2006 with the first sustainable economy initiative we had back then. And this has developed into what we currently call our green economy transition, or GET approach. The GET aims to accelerate transition to a green, low carbon and resilient economy and contribute to achieving a net zero carbon world by 2050. Through the GET, maybe we can already go to next slide. Through the GET approach since 2006, we have delivered over 2,000 green projects, almost 40 billion euros of green financing, and avoided a huge amount of greenhouse gas emissions and saved a lot of electricity. Now, in our current GET plan, we aim to reach a minimum 50% of all our total business to be GET by 2025. So we are accelerating our support to GET projects. Next slide, please. Speaking of our support to sustainable economies, cities are obviously very important. Where we live contributes in a major way to the quality of how we live. So in this respect, cities take up an important role in delivering better lives for us. And cities in our region, as you would know very well, face numerous challenges. And to address these challenges, EBRD has developed a program we call EBRD Green Cities to build a better and more sustainable future for cities and obviously their residents. The program has three components: the action plan, which sets out the targets, sustainable infrastructure investment, which is the delivery of the projects, and capacity building is our work with local authorities in knowledge sharing and capacity building exercises, seminars, training courses, etc. And happy to say that Romania is represented by 2 cities already in green cities, with Craiova and Iași joining in the last 2 years. We have over 40 cities. I believe we are reaching 50, and it is one way we deliver transition to our countries of operation. I will not dwell too much on green cities. It is a very interesting, very comprehensive program. So we could talk for many hours on this. So I will. We have the EBRD Green Cities website, by the way, so you can just type Green Cities EBRD, and there's a lot more information there. Next slide, please. As you know, also talking about cities, the building stock take up about 40% of all energy we consume in the EU and in most countries elsewhere as well, and produced almost as much. I believe in the EU it's 38% of all greenhouse gas emissions. Obviously, a lot of the homes we live in were built many years ago with, let's say, different quality, different standards. So a major focus of the EU, as well as the EBRD, is to help transform the building stock to become more energy efficient and more climate friendly. So we are increasing our support to this area. We support through direct finance, municipal buildings, public-private, like hospitals, utility, intermediate energy efficient finance, energy efficient funds, etc. But we also have intermediate finance, which is the finance we provide through our partner finance institutions to reach SMEs, all the mid caps, all the way down to retail, and that is where the GEFFs sort of start. Coming, next slide already. Coming to Romania. Romania has been a country of operations since 1992 and has been a very important country of operation for us with 9 billion euros already invested. And as in line with the bank mandate of our bank, 2/3 are into the private sector. And we have currently about 2 billion euro worth of projects in Romania today. And we do have a relatively large resident office in Bucharest. Now, just a parenthesis on our EBRD's presence. Perhaps unlike our sister organizations, EBRD is actually present operationally in all its countries of operation through what we call resident offices. These are not just representative offices; these are actual offices that develop projects. So that is one, let's say, competitive advantage, if you like, we have, where we are quite deeply embedded within the economies of our countries of operation, and we can support in great detail transition in those countries. So in the next slide, we will see out of all our investments in Romania, how much it has been green. Obviously, it's been increasing over the years, depending on the projects, but this be in line with the larger GET targets of the EBRD. We want to scale up in the next few years our GET investments, which now stand at 1.7 billion. And out of those, finally, if we come to the next slide, an important role has been played by green economy financing facilities. Now, this is if you like, an invention of the EBRD, a model which we are very proud of, which has worked excellently, and we are proud that it is copied in several forms by other MDBs. What this model means is it actually brings together everything about the EBRD's model at a scale that can reach down to retail clients. The GEFF programs combine technical know-how transfer, the technical assistance, we hire technical teams on site, on location in the country that consist of several experts in several areas. Depending on the project, obviously we would have engineers to support the actual projects, but we would also have banking experts, product experts, marketing experts, etc. And we do capacity building exercises with partner institutions and local authorities, professional associations, etc., and help our intermediary financial institutions develop their projects. Now, obviously, the other big component is the green finance, and this would be so that these are on-lending programs. We lend to the partner financial institutions, and then they on-lend to their clients, so their clients become, so their borrowers rather become our sub-borrowers. And we can actually support the sub-borrowers depending on the size of the project directly. We can support larger projects directly. We can support smaller projects through right-sized product delivery. In this schema, you actually can see that it brings together the technical expertise and the financial expertise to support beneficiaries from both sides, from the technical project side, as well as from providing commercial finance opportunities. So if you come to the next slide, the GEFF model has been a successful regional franchise. We've delivered in GEFF programs in 27 countries. We work with 155 participating financial institutions, almost 5 billion finance provided to more than 200,000 projects. Now, this is a huge number because depending on the type of project, if it is, for example, a retail project like in Romania, for home energy efficiency improvements, for example, we are able to reach a huge number of beneficiaries in the thousands. So that is why it is a very impactful and very effective program, and also obviously prepares our financial institution partners for in developing their own internal green finance structures, which are becoming more and more important these days. And in the next slide, then we will switch to GEFF Romania itself. And on this, at this point, I think I will leave the floor to my colleague Ana Maria to tell us about GEFF Romania in more detail.
Thank you, Jill, and hello to all participants. Yes, a few data about what happened with our GEFF project in Romania. GEFF Romania started in 2017, so we already have 4 years of experience with rolling it. And this is a 100 million euro credit line facilities, out of which 85 million are already dispersed, and we hope by the end of the year to disburse the final 15 million. We have worked with 3 Romanian financing partners very successfully, and at this present moment we still have cooperation with just one partner, because the other 2 have already rolled out the funds. Since we already have a little bit of experience with the project, we can also talk about the results, what's of interest for us, what were the primary energy and the CO2 savings. So you can see that implementing this project did bring some impressive savings. namely 37 gigawatt hour per year of energy saved and around 8.5 tons of CO2 per year saved. So what exactly did the GEFF Romania did before, besides lending money? We also were involved in a lot of promotional events, conferences and fairs. We had a lot of awareness activities and also trainings. Trainings mainly for financial institutions, but also for other relevant stakeholders. While the promotional events were for banks, for the technical industry, but also for a larger audience that wanted to know more about green economy. For this project, we are talking about blended concessional co-financing from the Cooperation and Development Fund of Taiwan. And also the project benefited of free technical assistance, which was co-funded by the Global Environmental Facility, GEFF. We also created some digital tools to support operations, the GEFF website, of which I will talk a little bit later on more in detail, and also very important, the green technology selector, which is an easy way to allow for approval of loans for purchase and installation of eligible technologies. Here you see our team of consultants. It's important to say and to mention the structure of a GEFF. We have, of course, a project manager / a project director. We have a manager that deals with the financial institutions. Then we have the technical experts, of which I mean included, and of course these are the main roles in the team. But we have in the background a big team that supports every aspect of the project, and of course the financial institutions as well. Let's switch now and talk about the eligibility criteria. Who was eligible for getting funds, loans from this project? This GEFF Romania was destined mainly to individuals, but housing association as well, and other businesses and service providers that provide eligible goods or services to households. It was important that the ownership was private, so we didn't fund public investment, public buildings, just private ownership. In terms of what we supported, actually the scope was quite large, because we supported investments in energy efficiency, in renewable energy, but also climate resilience measures such as water efficiency. And we try to support our banks, but also our vendors and purchasers with the help of the green technology selector, which is the kind of automated way to see if an investment, a sub-project is eligible or not, or for more difficult, for more complex equipments, these were assessed by the facility consultant, by us. Of course, all the sub-projects were in compliance with the Romanian national legislation. What kind of loans or leases were eligible? Well, investment loans or finance leases were and are eligible. We are talking about a maximum loan of 100,000 euros for individuals or group of individuals, and 5 million euros for housing associations, service providers, and vendors. And multiple loans and leases for one client are possible, but they may be used to fund 50% of the investment cost for vendors and service providers and 20% for individuals. In terms of solutions, I already mentioned a little bit in the previous slide, but let's go more deeper into the type of solutions we supported. We supported the construction of energy efficient residential buildings, going on dwelling level, like insulation of walls, roof and floor, glazing of windows and doors, installation of efficient heating system, also water efficiency solutions, and not just houses, but also big buildings, multi-family buildings were very much supported by thermal insulation, any investments in heating, ventilation, air conditioning and cooling, renewable energy such as solar water heaters and PV, lighting automation and control, and water efficiency solutions. Now I'll go deeper into the green technology selector. What is that? It is an online database that screens the best-in-class green technology, local vendors and manufacturers of eligible technologies. Those products, which are filtered by us, the consultants, and are listed in our green technology selector, are safe and in the sense that they meet the technical performance criteria. So they are pre-approved and are considered pre-approved for green financing via the local financial institutions. I think this is a very useful tool because for a bank, at least for a Romanian bank, it is not very easy to answer the question, what is a green technology, what is a green product? And this green technology selector answers exactly that. And also it orientates the other side, the clients and the vendors very good when they want to understand also from their side what is a green product, what is a green technology, and if I want to get a green loan, what will I have to look for? Local vendors of eligible products are encouraged to register for free their technologies. Actually, we are in the middle of a campaign that does exactly that. We encourage vendors to register. They get visibility and hopefully also more business. Just as I mentioned, the Green Technology Selector was developed, of course, by EBRD, but also with the support of the Austrian Federal Ministry of Finance. And another innovative product of our GEFF is, actually it's upcoming. We are in the last stages before launching it, but it's the Green Finance Academy. It's a platform that has the partner banks as a target. The idea is to offer them a free online education with animated modules that are easy to understand and provide an interactive learning opportunity for the audience. And many other opportunities, and not just financing, but also marketing, and it guides financial institutions over different aspects on how to sell green. And e-learners will obtain their personalized EBRD Green Finance Academy certificate. We hope that by September, the platform will be online for our banks and we will start using it. It is important also to mention the resources of our GEFF project. We have an official website where you can learn a lot more about the project. I advise you to go also on the Green Technology Selector, which is EBRD wide, but you can select and see what kind of technologies and products are available for Romania, and any other resources. Now I will stop, and because I want to share with you 2 case studies. The first that show how did we support in practice beneficiaries that were interested to get green loans. And the first case study is on the supply side. We supported a real estate developer that was interested to build energy efficient residential complex in the northwest of Romania, in the city of Cluj-Napoca. And now I will stop sharing my screen so that we can all see this first case study with the developer from Cluj.
În ultimii ani, oamenii solicită cele mai înalte standarde în zona rezidențială, astfel încât ne-am făcut din eficiența energetică și energia regenerabilă elemente centrale în construcția celor 450 de apartamente cuprinse în 5 imobile ce formează Sofia Residence. Apartamentele noastre se califică pentru certificatele de performanță energetică clasa A. Am instalat izolații termice și geamuri cu sticlă tripan, care au un sistem de microventilație inclus, ceea ce determină un grad ridicat de confort și calitate a aerului. Panourile solare de pe acoperiș sunt conectate la un sistem de centrale de ultimă generație în condensație pentru a integra energia regenerabilă și eficiența energetică. Rezidenții noștri pot monitoriza și controla consumul de energie electrică, apă și căldură. Folosim iluminat cu sistem LED și senzor de mișcare și lifturi cu consum redus de energie.
Aveam nevoie de un apartament în cartierul Bună Ziua care să ne fie aproape de locul de muncă. Ne-am dorit o locuință confortabilă, cu un control mai bun asupra sumei pe care o cheltuim pe energie și întreținere. Un credit ipotecar numit Creditul Verde al unei bănci partenere EBRD prin programul GEFF. În urma căutărilor ne-a plăcut foarte mult apartamentul de la Sofia Residence. Standardele ridicate de construcții și tehnologii înseamnă că ne putem aștepta la un nivel înalt de confort și la costuri minime de energie lunară.
Thank you. And the second video clip we will show in a second is on the supply side. Now we are moving to Bucharest to see a client that accessed a green mortgage as part of the GEFF program and bought an energy efficient flat. Can you show it?
Doream o zonă cosmopolită, prietenoasă, vreau să putem să mergem pe jos, să mergem cu bicicleta, să putem să luăm copilul la plimbare fără să trebuiască să ne urcăm într-o mașină de fiecare dată. Când am văzut clădirea, mi-a plăcut extraordinar de mult geamurile înalte, dar m-am gândit că va fi foarte greu de încălzit un apartament atât de mare și cu atât de multe geamuri. Nu doar izolarea termică este eficientă energetic, ci și sistemele de iluminare, de răcire și de încălzire. Nouă ne plac și gadgeturile foarte mult și atunci faptul că avem un sistem smart, de tip smart home, prin care putem să controlăm temperatura din apartament prin telefon, a fost și asta un plus pentru a alege acest apartament. O clădire rezistă în general aproximativ 100 de ani și prin urmare nu economisim energie doar pentru noi, ci și pentru generațiile următoare.
Thank you very much. And as a very last thing, I will leave you with our contact data in case we can offer more assistance in the future. Here is where you can find us.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Anna Maria, and thank you very much to UCL as well. It was very interesting indeed, and it really shows that we are sharing all the same objectives and using also in different countries similar also tools, partly also complementary tools to follow and try to achieve those objectives with regard to climate and energy in Europe, but even beyond. I think it was a wealth of information that we have received, so I could expect that there are some questions, but maybe the audience still has to digest a little bit, because so far I cannot see any questions in the chat. Again, invitation to the whole audience: if you have any question, please just drop them in the chat, and the colleagues Yücel and Anna Maria will follow up and will answer them. So far, maybe you would allow me one initial question. Maybe that could go to Yücel at the beginning, because you mentioned also the EBRD Green Cities program, and I would be interested a little bit on how the Green Cities program and the GEFF programs, or how GEFF is embedded into the cities program, or how you see the complementarity. So what are the specific objectives of one and the other projects, and how do they work together, specifically if we look at Romania, for instance?
Thank you, Björn. The Green Cities and GEFFs are different programs, obviously aiming to arrive at similar targets. Green Cities are at municipal level, and we, under a Green City action plan, we try to develop, depending on the city and the capacities and the targets, we develop a multitude of projects, the residential part of the equation being maybe a component there as well. But we may focus more on infrastructural type of let's say, recycling facilities, waste facilities. Whereas under the GEFFs, we are aimed at the private sector mostly. These are intermediate finance programs. We work with local financial institutions. Obviously, most of the time, these would be local banks, but they could be leasing companies, they could be microfinance institutions, etc., depending on the country. And through these institutions, we can reach any region in the country. So these are not city focused, but country focused. We can reach any region. Maybe on one hand, for example, we have had a program in Tajikistan called Climate Adapt, which was a climate adaptation program. It was actually a pilot program for us, because we also have to work in climate adaptation rather than climate mitigation, depending on the region. And some regions in Tajikistan that are very agriculture dependent are under great water stress through climate change at the moment. So there we work with the local banks, microfinance institutions, to reach those farmers to to help them, for example, support drip irrigation, etc. Whereas we come to a country like Romania, the different point in the transition journey. And here, I think we would be supporting under a larger umbrella. We would be supporting cities, develop projects, urban transport, obviously, and infrastructure projects. And we would then have a perhaps GEFF component supporting mid-caps, SMEs, and retail. We would be having green mortgages like under Romania GEFF, or we may have SME loans for energy efficient investments of smaller enterprises. And in the country, we may also have direct finance programs where we support, where we loan as EBRD directly to the company, again, for larger projects. So as we say, we have to use all the tools in our toolbox to fight climate change and to affect a transition. So GEFFs and green cities are not within each other, but they're part of the same toolbox that EBRD is trying to use to help our country operation transition to sustainable economies.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the whole toolbox is there to be used to really be able to reach the whole jigsaw of issues that we have to tackle. I look at the chat box. We still have a shy audience a little bit, I suppose. So we'll take the opportunity, maybe one more, to ask about this toolbox. One question. You mentioned rightly that before financing, in many cases, especially if we look at the city level, project development assistance, technical assistance is key. I mean, to really increase maturity of projects, and also GEFF plays a very important role here in Romania, as I see it. And that's also what we are doing, also providing project development assistance, and also the European Investment Bank has programs in that. I think the interesting thing is that you also have the financing lines behind, which we don't have, but the EIB has. Regarding project development assistance, just can you maybe elaborate a little bit, maybe on the Romanian case, but even beyond? Do you also provide access to local expertise, direct experts, that's what I understand, or also just supporting project development directly by providing financial resources to the project developers to hire the tailored assistance they would need to develop, I don't know, procurement procedure, to develop a business plan, to go deeper into financial engineering and so on?
That's an excellent question, Jörn. Thank you. So our technical assistance programs and policy dialogue programs can be part of several different types of programs, or they can be standalone. For example, we may have, like we have in Western Balkans, for example, we put donors together. A lot of times this happens to be the European Union. And we hire local talent and international talent to support ministries, for example, in developing legislation aligned with the EU directives, etc., but also adapted to local conditions, like the Energy Performance in Buildings Directive adaptation work. We can have lots of work streams under that, like dozens. We support several ministries and offices, and all the way to the law and regulations being published. So we have these standalone, we call it policy dialogue, because we engage with local authorities, national authorities. But we also work with, for example, green building councils in countries, for example, to develop programs that are fit for the country. But obviously, we would like to bring in finance as soon as possible, or when possible, so that we don't just do policy dialogue, but we build programs on that. That would be pilot projects sometime, but that will help mainstream these initiatives in those countries. So technical assistance and policy dialogue are major tools. And like in a GEFF, they can actually be part. A GEFF can have policy dialogue. We can have, support to residential sector, even retail, and then we can work with, I don't know, Minister of Urbanism, and help them publish regulations, develop regulations that support or that ease the way for dwellings to be able to make these investments. Maybe little incentives in a little tax break or VAT, or just allowing smoother bureaucratic process to make these interventions. So a GEFF can have policy dialogue as well as TA. In capacity building, we work with financial institutions, we work with municipalities, we work with professional associations, and we can have seminars with ministers, etc. So we have actually, and including universities, we also work with universities in some countries. We work with, for example, engineering faculties, architecture faculties, civil engineering, architecture, or related faculties. We talk about energy efficiency in buildings, resource efficiency, etc. Like, we share our knowledge, and we share the knowledge of our experts with the countries, and then those experts will train others, etc. So it's really it's a big topic for us. It's a very important component for us. But that is the versatility, if you like, of EBRD. As I say, we can support a huge solar power plant in Egypt, hundreds of millions of euros, or we can support a Romanian family in Cluj. So we can scale up and down very easily, and that also would be the case for our technical assistance programs and our policy dialogue programs as well.
Excellent, thank you very much. The good thing is that you will have also the opportunity to pose further questions today in the afternoon, because as I've mentioned, there is the virtual fair and the EBRD will have a stand there. So you can join there also through your dashboard and join the stands and ask EBRD experts directly on any in detail question that you could not ask in this setting of this particular slot at the moment. Having said that, thank you very much to Anna Maria and also to Yücel for giving us all these insights. I think it was very interesting and very enlightening. And thank you also very much to the audience for the interest in the session and also interest in the specific GEFF instrument. If you want to deeper dive again in what has been said, I would just like to tell you that the recordings of the session will be available on the conference website shortly. So you can there go back to single details that you might have to deeply dive in again. And with having said that, again, thank you very much to the speakers, but also to the audience. And I wish you an interesting continuation of the event with the virtual fair or also networking activities in the afternoon. Thank you very much and all the best to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Björn.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Bye.